Welcome to ATR Powerslam, Above the Rings exclusive YouTube show, coming to you to provide all your wrestling results for the week ending in July 1st, 2023 with a 20-minute time limit. We're your hosts, the SLB and Scott. Before we begin, please make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. We're going to kick things off with Scott for Monday Night Raw.
So this was the go-home show before Money in the Bank. Obviously, we'll not talk Money in the Bank here. We'll have a whole post show about that later on. We'll find out who got that point in our Shivett Studios championship, or maybe more people got a point. Who knows? We'll talk about that later this week. But heading into Money in the Bank on Raw, this was a really good edition of Raw. Cody Rhodes coming out, quoting Dr. Seuss of all things, talking about how Dominic's a scared little boy, going into their match at Money in the Bank. After that, we got some in-ring action as Ricochet got a big victory over Shinsuke Nakamura. This was probably one of my favorite matches of the night. I'm glad that both these two get some time to actually shine in the ring. After that, we got Ronda Rousey with a big victory over Raquel Rodriguez. We had yet another brawl between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, rolling into their Money in the Bank match. Of course, also the NXT champion Carmelo Hayes, him making a not necessarily a debut on Raw, but showing himself there. But actually, if I remember correctly, this does turn into a match later on in the show, which was nice to see. We had a rematch, which was supposed to be The Miz and Tommaso Ciampa, after Ciampa surprised everybody by his return. But The Miz, actually thinking ahead, this time attacked Ciampa before the match happened. So this feud obviously will continue. Dominic Mysterio was in action himself, defeating Akira Tozawa. Of course, then after that, we had ourselves a nice little brawl with all the women for the Money in the Bank match, because this is what happens. Before a big pay-per-view, everybody has to come out and have a nice fight. After that, we had Gunther getting a big victory over Sami Zayn. This one was almost to the elevation of how him and KO did. So I like the fact that we get more Gunther in the ring and again, some high quality talent. Of course, this then led into a brawl between him and Riddle, again rolling into Money in the Bank. After that, I had mentioned that Carmelo Hayes was going to have himself a match on Raw. He did. He took on Finn Balor, but Finn did get the clean victory, which was a little surprising. I did not expect a clean victory here, but Finn looking real strong rolling into the pay-per-view. And then your main event of the night, Cody Rhodes getting a big victory over Damian Priest. So we roll over to NXT for their Gold Rush Week 2. Kick things off with the NXT Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton defending her title and retaining against Thea Hale. These two easily the future of this division, and you love to see it. After that, we actually had a nice return of Andre Chase. There was some fighting inside with Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey attacking Duke after Thea's loss. Andre comes back, chases them away, so I'm assuming a tag team between those two teams are going to be happening in the future. Speaking of tag teams, we had the tag team championship match after that, with Gallus getting a big victory over Malik Blade and Endris Anafi. Nice to see those boys getting some chances here, but Gallus boys still remaining on top. After that, we had the NXT Heritage Cup Championship. The more I see this championship now, because I didn't get a chance to watch it when it was back in NXT UK, the more I'm starting to enjoy it. Nathan Frazier getting a big victory over Dragon Lee here to retain his Heritage Cup Championship. After that, we got Gigi Dolan getting a victory over Kiana James, although I don't know who actually won this, because after the end of this, Kiana James had some paint in her giant purse of hers and ended up dumping orange and blue paint all over Gigi Dolan, leaving her humiliate. She can't even see the word. It's so humiliating. And just leaving her a mess. So it kind of reminded me of the whole NXT 2.0 with all the different colors, but I look forward to seeing what Gigi's going to do to get some revenge. And then your main event was for the NXT Championship, Carmelo Hayes versus the returning Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin. Brought back his old NXT theme, brought back the entrance. your boy here was all in his glory. I was so happy to see it. Happy is gone, is dead. Long live the lone wolf. Very excited for it. But obviously Carmelo Hayes getting the victory here. So don't know what's next for Baron, but Carmelo obviously now getting that tease on Raw. Maybe it's time for him to start coming up pretty soon and be there permanent. So we'll see. But that's it for the beginning part of WWE. I'll tag over to Sam so we can talk about Impact, ROH, and AEW.
Yeah, hopping over to Wednesday and Thursday nights. Opening match from Dynamite, we had Jon Moxley defeat Tomohiro Ishii. We had a six-man tag where El Hijo del Vikingo, Keith Lee, and Orange Cassidy defeated the Jericho Appreciation Society. Six-man tag, the Elite, Adam Page, Matt and Nick Jackson defeating the Dark Order. A lot of ruffled feathers there. It looks like Adam Page is no longer friends with the Dark Order. Ruby Soho defeated Alexia Nicole in like a squash match. And we have a tornado tag here. It was Darby Allin and Sting defeating the Jericho Appreciation. I have Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Somewhere in the show, too, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, we had that moment with the BCC in the Elite. I believe it was after the six-man where they announced Blood and Guts at the Boston Garden on July 19th. Very upset I will not be in Boston for that.
I won't be either.
Boston's getting War Games and Blood and Guts. Wow. What a time to live in the Northeast.
Right.
Hopping over to Ring of Honor for the billion matches they have. Commander taking on defeating Gringo Loco. Daniel Garcia defeating Christopher Daniels. Gates of Agony defeating Action Andretti and Darius Martin. I'm liking how Darius is still getting some tag team action here.
Yeah. Being
out of action for a while and Dante now being out. The Righteous and Stu Grayson defeating Macrae Martin. I know Steve that you know is gonna be up my ass about it. Ethan, sorry, buddy. Rip Impact and Zach Patterson. We had another proving ground match for the women's world title. Athena defeating Silesia Sparks. Big Bill and Lee Moriarty defeating the boys, Brendan and Brett. Three-way match with Mark Briscoe defeating JD Drake and Tony Nese. Diamante defeating Vanessa Craven. A six-man mayhem match. Who knows what a mayhem match is? Brian Cage defeating Josh Woods, Dalton Castle, Shane Taylor, Trent Seven, and Willie Mack. And it looks like the main event. I'm looking at it, let me just double check. Oh, is this the broadcast date? This isn't even the right episode. That's cool. This happens all the time. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to skip over to Impact. I swear I looked at the dates on that one too. Opening match, X Division title match. Chris Sabin defeating Trey Miguel. We had Trinity defeating Jay Vidal. Leo Rush defeating Jack Price. Masha Slamovich defeating Kylie King. And then Kenny King defeating Yuya Umura. And I'm going to tag right back over to Scott to finish out the WWE week with SmackDown.
All right. SmackDown live. Well, live, I say quotation marks. Live in London, but not for the United States. Obviously being pre-taped from the O2. Same place where Money in the Bank was taking place. And boy, can I say how much I love international crowds? Because they're so much better than most of the States crowds. And I to this day, I still don't understand why people don't appreciate it as much as they should. But I digress. That's another story for another day. So, kicking things off, we went right into the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. It was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on and defeating Pretty Deadly. I have to say, and I even tweeted this out on Friday night. I have given my opinion on a lot of WWE's theme songs as of late. A lot of them have been absolute trash. But Pretty Deadly's, I liked their previous theme. This one fits them perfectly. It just, yeah. So I definitely will give credit where credit is due here. So Pretty Deadly's got some bright futures going on outside of the theme song, but it's nice to have a good all-around package when it comes to that team. After that, we had ourselves a contenders match, which WWE hasn't done in quite a while. So I'm like, well, this is the Vince McMahon fingertips being in everything yet again. Austin Theory defeating Ridge Holland. So unfortunately, Ridge, back to the end of the line you go, sir. After that, we had Bayley's Money in the Bank ladder match spot on the line as Shotzi challenged her a few weeks back, saying that Bayley didn't deserve to be in the match. So we had ourselves a nice little fight here, but Bailey was able to retain and keep her spot in Money in the Bank. After that, we had ourselves the Grayson Waller effect, with the two most annoying people in the entire WWE being Grayson Waller and Logan Paul. This, of course, turned into all the Money in the Bank guys showing up because this is what's going to happen. We then had our triple threat match out of three of those guys, where it was Butch, Santos Escobar, and LA Knight. Yeah. With Butch. Actually, Butch actually getting the victory here. So it's nice to see the hometown kid get himself a victory going into the pay-per-view. We then had our WWE Women's Championship match between Asuka and Charlotte Flair, which, of course, as I expected this to, ended in a no contest because Bianca Belair got herself involved, who was actually barred from ringside, but did the old "I bought a ticket, so I'm sitting in the front row" thing. She ends up getting attacked during the match. Obviously, then turns into the no disqualification or the no contest. I honestly expected this to turn into a triple threat for Money in the Bank. It did not happen. Maybe for SummerSlam. That's okay. It's 5 weeks from now. We'll see what happens. But actually, Bianca Belair ended up just taking out both Charlotte and Asuka. Actually looked pretty cool. And then, of course, to end the show, it was the beginning of the Bloodline Civil War. It was literally just an all-out brawl between the Usos and Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns, leading into probably one of the better Money in the Bank main events that we've had. Yeah. So, but again, we'll talk about all Money in the Bank stuff on our post show, which will be coming out later this week. But that's it for WWE side of things. We'll tack it over to Sam so we can talk Rampage and Collision, and then we'll wrap this up.
We will, yes. And we have a little less than 2 months now from when AEW runs Wembley Stadium.
Yes, sir.
So we got plenty of time to build up on that and see what they can do over there. Open up Rampage, though. Claudio Castagnoli defeats Commander in a Ring of Honor World title match. We had Sean Spears defeat The Blade. Good to see Sean Spears back on television.
Yes, sir.
QTV, Johnny TV, and QT Marshall. That's a tag team I thought I'd never say in my lifetime.
Right.
Defeating Isaiah Cassidy and Matt Hardy. And then the main event, Hikaru Shida. So glad to see her back.
Yes.
Defeating Taya Valkyrie. That's something I'm gonna have to watch.
It was good. I think this might lead into something too with those two going forward, because I got to watch Rampage. I didn't get the chance to watch Collision, so I'm excited to see what happens here.
Me too. I got to watch both of them. So opening up Collision, we had the champ himself, MJF, defeating Kip Morris in 37 seconds. We had an AEW. Wait a minute. Oh, was that a singles match or a dark match? I'm reading off a cage match. So there was that. No, there was an actual AEW World Title match against Ethan Page opening the night, and MJF won. The Owen Hart Foundation men's quarterfinal, Powerhouse Hobbs defeats Dustin Rhodes. That'll be a good one to go back and watch. The Horns came. Miro defeating Anthony Henry. Ricky Starks defeated Juice Robinson for the quarterfinal match. Another one that's probably going to be worth watching. There was a TBS title match. Chris Statlander defending the title against Lady Frost. And the main event, Samoa Joe defeating Roderick Strong by referee decision. 14-minute bout. And just for reference, going back to Dynamite quickly, we did have those bits with MJF and Adam Cole. Definitely worth going back and seeing. Forgot about that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, Money in the Bank is come and gone. We'll be dropping our post show sometime this week. Thank you for watching.